Hello children, this is your teacher Manisha Saxena and today you will read new chapter with me and I hope you will enjoy the chapter a lot. If you have not yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel M Saxena Classes. So children, let us start the chapter. Welcome to chapter 4, Human Development. Human development means enlarging people's freedom and opportunities, simultaneously improving their well-being. It is all about real freedom. Ordinary people can decide who to be, what to do, how they live their lives. In this chapter, we are going to discuss human development in respect to nation and communities. Both relate to humans. They change over the period of time, as we can see growing a plant over the period of time. Here we will discuss two terms, growth and development. We can measure growth in terms of numbers and values. Growth is quantitative. For example, if population grows, we can count it. Growth can be positive or negative. Number of values can be increased or decreased. In other words, change can be positive or negative. On the other hand, development is always positive. In development, you have to only add. There is no subtraction or reduction. It always adds. It means development occurs when the positive growth takes place. It is qualitative change. I give you an example. If you are learning, it means your positive growth can be seen. Whatever methods you are adopted for learning, whether you are learning online or for the study material from the mock test, so many, and your learning curve is going up, it means you are understanding, gaining something. It is positive development. But after a long time, a country's level of development is measured only by its economic growth. If country's economy is bigger than more developed country, it would be considered. More development does not mean much change in life of most of the people. Like a politician says, nation's GDP is high, nation is doing good, and other high-fi words. But in reality, unemployment rate is high, poor education standard, poor infrastructure, huge difference in export and import bills, large budget deficit. It means expenditure is high than its revenue, price rise, gender inequality, and many more. So the whole thing is that equality of life. People enjoy in a country the opportunities they have and freedom they enjoy. These are the important aspects of development. Now we will take the ideas of two South Asian economists, Mehboob-ul-Haq and Amartya Sen. The concept of human development was introduced by Dr. Mehboob-ul-Haq. The basic goal of development is to create conditions where people can live a meaningful life. This means people must be healthy, be able to develop their talent, participate in society, be free to achieve their goals, and have a decent life. There are three key areas in human development. They are access to resources, health, and education. Very often, people do not have the capability and freedom to make basic choices like food, housing, health care, etc. This may be due to their inability to acquire knowledge, their material poverty, social discrimination, inefficiency of institutions, and other reasons. This prevents them from leading healthy lives, being able to get educated, or to have the means to live a decent life. For example, an uneducated child cannot make the choice to be a doctor because her choice has got limited by her lack of education. Similarly, very often poor people cannot choose to take medical treatment for disease because their choice is limited by their lack of resources. Now, we will discuss about the pillars of human development. Actually, there are 6 pillars of development. They are equity, sustainability, productivity, empowerment, cooperation and security. But here in this chapter, we will read only 4: equity, sustainability, productivity and empowerment. Equity refers to making equal access to opportunities available to everybody. The opportunities available to people must equal irrespective of their gender, race, income and in the Indian case, caste also. Yet, this is very often not the case and happens in almost every society. For example, in any country, it is interesting to see which group the most of the school dropouts belong to. This should then lead to an understanding of the resources for such behavior. In India, a large number of women and persons belonging to socially and economically backward group drop out of school. This shows how the choices of these groups get limited by not having access to knowledge. Sustainability. Sustainability means continuity in the availability of opportunities to have sustainable human development. Each generation must have the same opportunities. All environmental, financial and human resources must be used keeping in mind the future. Misuse of any of these resources will lead to fewer opportunities for future generations. Now we come to productivity. Productivity here means human labor productivity or productivity in terms of human work. Such productivity must be constantly enriched by building capabilities in people. Ultimately, it is people who are the real wealth of nations. Therefore, efforts to increase their knowledge or provide better health facilities ultimately leads to better work efficiencies. Now, last pillar is empowerment. Empowerment means to have the power to make choices. To give power somebody means empower. Such power comes from increasing freedom and capability. Good governance and people-oriented policies are required to empower people. The empowerment of socially and economically disadvantaged groups is of special importance. This table shows various approaches to human development. Number 1, income approach. This idea says that people income level reflects their level of freedom. If you have more money, you do more things. So, if income high, human development will also high. Now we come to the second approach, welfare approach. This idea says if government spend more over people, they will like it. In this approach, people are a receiver, not a giver. Third approach is basic need approach. This idea says forget about human choices, focus on basic needs. They are health, education, food, water supply, housing and so many. People most of their life busy and dealing with these basic amenities. So, last approach is capability approach. This approach is associated with Professor Amartya Sen. Building human capabilities in the areas of health, education and access to resources is the key to increasing human development. Now we come to measuring human development. How to measure the human development? The Human Development Index HDI ranks the countries based on their performance in the key areas health, education and access to resources. These rankings are based on a score between 0 to 1 that a country earns from its record in the key areas of human development. Now we will study about it. The indicator chosen to access health is the life expectancy at birth. A higher life expectancy means that people have a greater chance of living longer and healthier lives. Education means adult literacy rate and the gross enrollment ratio represent access to knowledge. The number of adults who are able to read and write and the number of children enrolled in school show how easy or difficult it is to access knowledge in a particular country.
Each of these dimensions is given a weightage of 1/3. The Human Development Index is the sum total of the weights assigned to all these dimensions. The closer a score is to 1, the greater is the level of human development.
Therefore, the score of 0.983 would be considered very high, while 0.268 would mean a very low level of human development. Now we come to the Human Poverty Index. So, Human Poverty Index and human development is totally opposite. The Human Poverty Index is related to Human Development Index. This index measures the shortfall in human development. Often the Human Poverty Index is more revealing than the Human Development Index. Looking at both these measures of human development together gives an accurate picture of the human development situation in a country. The ways to measure human development are constantly being refined and newer ways of capturing different elements of human development are being researched. Now we come to international comparison. Often smaller countries have done better than larger ones in human development. Just as we can see Norway, Switzerland, Australia, Ireland, Germany, Iceland, Hong Kong, Sweden, Singapore, Netherlands, they are doing good in Human Development Index. Similarly, relatively poorer nations have been ranked higher than richer neighbors in terms of human development. For example, Sri Lanka, Trinidad and Tobago have a higher rank than India in the Human Development Index, despite having smaller economies. Similarly, within India, Kerala performs much better than Punjab and Gujarat in Human Development Index. Now we come to we can see this table of Human Development Index very high. We will calculate 0.800 and above. High between 0.701 up to 0.799. Medium between 0.550 up to 0.700. Low below 0.549. Countries with very high Human Development Index are those which have a score of over 0.800 according to Human Development Record of 2018. This group includes 59 countries. You can look in the table. Now we come to high. High level of Human Development Group has 53 countries. Providing education and healthcare is an important government priority. Countries with higher human development are those where a lot of investment in the social sector has taken place. Now we come to the medium. Countries with medium levels of human development form the largest group. There are 39 countries in the medium level of human development. Most of these are countries which have emerged in the period after the Second World War. Some countries from this group were former colonies, while many others have emerged after the breakup of the erstwhile Soviet Union in 1990. Now we come to the low. As many as 38 countries record low levels of human development. A large proportion of these are the small countries which have been going through political turmoil and social instability in form of civil war, famine or a high incidence of diseases. There is an urgent need to address the human development requirements of this group through well thought out policies. Now last, on the other hand, places with low level of human development tend to spend more on defense rather than social sectors. This shows that these countries tend to be located in areas of political instability and have not been able to initiate accelerated economic development. Students, this chapter is also very important for the board examinations. I hope you gained and understood the chapter very well. See you in next video.